Finding the equation of a line through 2 points. Find the equation of the line through the points 2, 6 and 7, -4. Now remember, in order to find an equation of the line, you will need the slope and a way to find the y-intercept. Now you notice that the only information we have are the 2 points that the line passes through. Before in the previous example, we've actually been given the slope and we used a point to help us determine what the y-intercept was. So if we only knew the slope, we'd be able to start off from our previous example and it's pretty much the same. So in these types of problems, you will always want to calculate the slope first before you proceed. So if you remember what the slope formula is, the slope is the differences of the y's over the differences of the x's. You'll then have to remember who you want to call your first point and who you want to call your second point. Now for reference, I'll probably go with the point 2, 6 to be my first point. So I will label that point as x1, y1. And I'll go with the point 7, -4 as my second point. So let's see if I can label that one appropriately. That's going to be x2, y2. So from here, we just have to plug this into the slope formula, being consistent as to what numbers we plug in. So y2 is -4. We have a minus sign from the slope formula. y1 is +6. x2 is 7. And x1 is 2. Let me put that minus sign in from the formula first. So now we're going to want to simplify the numerator and denominator. -4 minus 6 is -10. And 7 minus 2 is 5. And if it's possible, we'll try to reduce. And -10 over 5 reduces to -2. So we actually now have our slope, which is one of the criteria we need for this problem. So we're pretty much done with the slope part. Now it's our job to find what the y-intercept is. And if you notice again, the points that they gave us, we notice that both of the x values are not 0, so none of these points are the y-intercept exactly. So we're going to use our experience from the previous examples. If you know the slope and you know a point that the line passes through, then we're almost pretty much done once we plug in the ordered pair to our equation. So we'll proceed with that. So with the slope being -2, we can choose one of our points to plug into the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, so that we can hope to solve for b to find our y-intercept. Now I would like to point out that it doesn't matter which point you choose to plug in. So whether you choose 2, 6 or 7, -4, we will still get the same y-intercept in the end. So I'll choose 2, 6 to plug in, which means x equals 2 and y equals 6. And let's remember to plug in our slope, which is -2. Then we have plus b. That's what we're trying to find. So to solve this equation, we will simplify the right side. Negative 2 times positive 2 is 4. We have a negative 4. And so we still have plus b. So to solve for b, we'll add 4 to both sides. And we will get the y-intercept b equals 10. Now keep in mind, the directions are asking you to find the equation of the line. So just leaving the problem done at b equals 10 is not sufficient. So let's record that at least for the y-intercept equaling 10. The final step is to write your final answer, which is the equation. So y equals mx plus b. And we're going to fill in our important parts, the slope and the y-intercept. So the final answer should be y equals negative 2x plus 10. And that's the equation of the line passing through the points 2, 6, and 7, negative 4. Now, the last thing I'd like to prove to you is the fact that it really doesn't matter which ordered pair you choose to plug into the slope-intercept form. So the last example, when we found our answer, we plugged in 2, 6. So I just want to show you what would happen if we plug in 7, negative 4. So again, that would mean that x equals 7. So for x, we'll plug in 7. And y equals negative 4. So we'll plug that in for our y. And keeping in mind what our slope was, negative 2. I'll put parentheses about what I plugged in. And plus b. So to solve this equation, we will have negative 4 equals negative 2 times positive 7 is negative 14 plus b. And to solve for b, we'll add 14 to both sides. And you'll notice that b equals 10. And that's exactly what we got for the y-intercept when we chose the point 2, 6. But if we wanted to choose 7, negative 4, it really wouldn't make a difference. So we would still write our final answer. Y equals mx plus b, plugging in our slope, which is negative 2, and our y-intercept, which is 10. So we have our final answer.